Hi, this lesson is a preparation before creating dashboard. So it's going to be a quick review of table, converting data set into table, pivot chart, and so on in preparation of creating dashboard, which in a way, as in essence, it's a spreadsheet with linked data and data cells and charts and so on. But to create an effective dashboard, you will need to create the components. The foundation of the components will be the data set, just like this. Right now, this is at US 500. So I'm going to just go ahead and save this first as right now this is a comma separated value file, so I'm going to change that to Excel, and then I'm going to make sure that I'm saving in the right place, my documents, and then at the end here I'm going to add my name and make sure that it is Excel spreadsheet workbook, not CVS, and then go ahead and click on save. Now it is fully Excel file. And then this is a list of people, company name, address, phone number, email, and website address. So we assume that each person's last name represents each record in a sense of a database. So let me go ahead and convert this data into a table. So that's critical part. In order to use pivot table, pivot chart, power pivot, and so on, we need to have a tables first. And so let's just click somewhere on the data set, and then go ahead and click on the home tab, click on file format as, and let me just go ahead and use one format here. And the table has headers such as first name, last name, country, and so on. So that checkbox is checked. Go ahead and click on OK. Now I have a table. All right. So let's create. Let's give it a name first. So right now, this table has a default name. So if you click on the table tools, if it's not already clicked, if you look at the table name box, currently the name is a default name, table 1, because this is the first table that is created. So let's just change that name to, let's say, customer contact. Just make sure that there's no contacts, no space in between words. So we'll just simply use a camel case. So for example, uppercase C and uppercase C over here. Okay, so go ahead and press the enter key, and now this table has a name. So wherever you click, you'll see table name as customer contacts. Good. So inside of table 1, technically there's no difference whether you give it a name or use a default name. That's fine. But for a human being to work with, it's good to have a name associated with the data set. All right, so then let's say this data set, this table has 500 entries. So let's see, how about I want to see how many records that we have. Currently it's a 501 row, which means that we have 500 records. So if I wanted to, I could add a total row by just going to the design, click on that, and then it adds the total row, and then you can see that's 500. That basically it just counted. So if you click on the drop down menu, it counted it. So that's good. So that's what we have. So 500. So when we add more customers, then it'll increase. All right, so that's good. Now let's go ahead and create pivot table and pivot chart and so on based on this table. So let's go to insert, and for the fun of it, I'm gonna go ahead and create a pivot chart first. It's easy. Go ahead and click on pivot chart, and then the source of the data will be customer contact, and here I am going to just create a new sheet. That's okay. Go ahead and click on it, and then I'm going to, let's say I'm going to put state here, and then last name as a value, and we're going to just count how many last names based on the state do we have. And then perhaps I'll just add county below. It's a kind of a sub-unit up below state. So obviously this is too crowded the chart. So I'm going to apply filter. So go ahead and click on the state, this drop down arrow on the state, and then let's say I'm going to just choose Washington State. Okay, and then go ahead and click on OK. And now within the Washington State, we have a Bentham County, King County, Pierce County, and Snohomish County. So that's good. So that is, let's say, assuming that we are looking for the data from the Washington State, this is totally good. So total of Washington, let's just WA. Okay, so that's good. All right, so one is done, and let's go back to this table, and then we're going to create this time pivot table. So you can use a recommended pivot table. You can just choose and see what's recommended. But for now, we're going to just go ahead and click on pivot table. And again, new spreadsheet, and click on OK. And essentially, we're going to just do the same thing here. And last name, it's going to be counting. And then we have a grand total. So that's good. And now you can kind of see, you can apply filtering. Well, for that matter, let's go ahead and apply some formatting first. So let's conditional formatting, that is. And let's go to select this row, I'm sorry, the column, and then go here, conditional formatting. So you can apply all this. I want you to spend some time to play with it. It's fairly self-explanatory if you take your time. But if you go hurry, then it may not make good sense. But I want you to take your time and apply different things here. So for example, greater than. So I want to see the states only that are above, let's say, 20 customers. So format 20. Greater than 20, and then I'm going to just put let's say yeah, let's say Greenfield, and then go ahead and click on OK. So now I have only the states that has over 20. So that's one thing that you can do. Obviously you can do other conditional formatting, so come over here and then scale, and you can apply this and that, or the bar. You can see that. All right, so again, kind of you can compound the conditional formatting and just go ahead and use it and see what you get. So these are formatting, and now let's do the filtering. So I want to see, let's say something again. Filtering. So here, sorry about that. So let's come over here and come over, click on the state in the pivot table fields, and then go ahead and click on the drop down menu, and then you can apply value filter. And so let's say greater than, again, let's say I want count of last name is greater than, let's say going back to 20. So you can see filtered pivot table. Okay, so that's good. Other things that I want to cover. So before we go any further, I want to just name the tabs. So double click on the tab, and this is table, P table, and this is P chart, and this is a raw data. And let's go ahead and create a new sheet and just move it to the let's move it to the far left and just give it a name, dashboard. So dashboard is, in essence, as I mentioned earlier, it's just compilation or combination of a key information that are extracted through pivot chart, pivot table, and tables for that matter, and then have like a one view location, one sheet, so that you don't have to go through multiple charts and tables and all the details, but you can see what's going on at a glance. So that's the basic concept of dashboard. So it requires some planning and designing, but for the purpose of this this particular video, I'm going to just show you how technically be done, which is very simple. So let's say here in cell 5.2, the current number of customers, semicolon, press the enter key, and then I'm just going to double click between C and D so that maybe I'll just apply bold and so on. And then here in D2, I'm going to start with an equal sign. Notice that in this formula bar, you see the equal sign, and I go to US_500 tab, and as I click on the tab, you'll see that formula bar is updated with this sheet ID with the exclamation mark at the end. So that indicates that this is the name of a sheet. And then I'm going to scroll down all the way to the bottom, and there is that. Click that, and notice that this is a little bit more convoluted, but that's okay as long as you see that the marching ends. So that's the indication of the right cell selected. All right, now here's a tricky part. Do not, I repeat, do not click back on the dashboard tab. So here, once you click on that cell that contains the information that you need, then just press the enter key. That will take you back to there. All right, so you can apply formatting and whatever you want. Okay, now let's say you want to have number of customers in Washington. Press enter key, again apply filtering, select that and then apply formatting. And then you can just go here, select the chart and copy it, and just come over here, simply paste it. So when you paste, so this is simple paste, and then this is sorting the format, and this is just a picture. So picture is good for separating the updates. So once you put the picture in there, it'll be separated. So if you want a dynamic update, I would not go for there. So I just use a simple paste. And then there. Okay, so let's see the states over 20 customers. And again, I'm going to apply fill formatting here. So again, this is like a little preview of the Thursday's class. So anyway, go over here. Again, I can just copy this and then simply paste it. So not just that, I'm going to paste the link. So that's, again, important if you were to keep the dynamic updates. Okay, so make it a little bit wider, and then perhaps you could apply formatting there. Okay, now that's it. That's the dashboard, just quick overview, and of course we'll go into more detail about the dashboard later.